Hello, readers, and welcome back to Tell Between Tales. Today, I'm going to tell you who my favorite author is and discuss their works. This author means a lot to me as her books played a pivotal role in my childhood development of reading and my love of fantasy. And my parents gifted my sister the first quartet or the first series, and they gifted me the second series. Now, fortunately, both of these are independent and you don't need to read the first one to understand the second one. There's only a few references, but this author is going to be none other than Tamora Pierce. And these right here, the beautiful Illumicrate editions of the Alanna Quartet, is the first series that she wrote and is the first series in the Tortall universe, with the Immortals, or as I like to call it, the Wild Magic Quartet, being the second in the universe. Now, Tamora Pierce has two separate and distinct universes that she has created. These ones are in the Tortall universe, and then she also has her Circle of Magic series, which for some reason I can't find book one, so we've got books 2, 3, and 4, and these are known as the Circle universe. Now, for quite a while, when I was a young teenager, I read through everything that Tamora Pierce has come out with, and writing this script and pulling out all of my old books has made me really want to reread everything again. And especially since I have this gorgeous edition over here, which I am going to show for you a little bit closer here as I talk about the Alanna Quartet, has definitely made me want to read it more. So let me pull these down. So the Alanna Quartet is a most excellent place to start with Tamora Pierce. A lot of her books are YA or maybe even middle grade, as the first book in this series, as well as her Wild Magic series, they both kind of follow similar trends in that they start with younger characters, and as you go through each installment, the character grows up, and by the time you get to the fourth one, they are a young adult. As you can see, these books are not very long, so they're very quick reads and they're very fun. And when I think of fantasy, this is what I think of. And that's probably because this was really one of my first introductions to fantasy. So this just feels so much like coming home when I can find a fantasy world that's like this. And a lot of her fantasy really follows that traditional Middle Ages European type fantasy world, and it includes knights and magic, and the gods are mingling in everything. They're very much a presence, and they're very much involved in mortal affairs, and you do meet them throughout several of the books. Tortall is built like the Middle Ages European setting, and we follow Alanna, who is a noble girl with a twin brother, as she is supposed to go off to magic school, and her brother is supposed to go off to military school to become a knight. However, both of them want to go to the other school, and neither are interested in the path that has been chosen for them. But gender roles are important in this society, and it is forbidden for girls to enter the army. They end up switching places, and we follow Alanna through her training as she conceals the fact that she's a girl. The thing that makes this unique is that in each book she grows up a little more, and we see her struggle to go through puberty and become an adult, all while being alone and concealing her true identity. This first installment has magic as a part of the world, but is not heavy on magic. There's also, of course, the component of the gods that I just recently talked about, who rule over the world, and mortals can gain favoritism with the gods, and most countries have their own patron gods, and they play an active role in the society and in the world. And so this is definitely a series that I would recommend. It goes quick, it's fun, it's great for adults, and it's great for middle schoolers, especially for the young women in your lives. Now, the second installment, which is the Immortals Quartet, is about a young girl named Diane, and she is very much an introvert. She doesn't like talking to very many people, and she's trying to make her way in the world, and we don't know a lot about her, and we don't know a lot about her backstory. This is a story about self-discovery and It's very much a coming of age story and coming into your power and discovering who you are and your past and learning how to make connections with other people. This book focuses a lot more on the magical side of the Tortall universe, as Diane has a unique brand of magic that hasn't really been seen before, and a good portion of the story revolves around her coming into her magic and controlling it and what it is exactly that she can do. Now, she has several more series in the Tortall universe, and some of them follow the kids of the people in these first two quartets, and those are really good, really interesting, and I like them because our characters that we read about in the first series, their stories are done, their arcs are complete, and nothing that she has in the subsequent stories changes who they are or what she's built in the original series, and instead we get to learn about new characters and how they're their own person, and of course the pressure that they have to live up to their parents, and so it explores a little bit more about that, and it's also coming of age and self-discovery. A lot of her books are really about figuring out who you are and what your likes are, and finding your power and what makes you you and what you're good at, and developing those to become the best that you can be and to really harness your potential. And so that's one of the reasons why I really love all of her books so much, is because the messaging in here is always just so good and so uplifting. Now, the Circle of Magic is the first quartet in the Circle universe, and this one, there's a lot of magic in this world, and we focus on 4 misfits basically, and they have been gathered from all across the realm, and they've been brought to the Central Magic School. Upon arriving at the magic school, none of them ever really fit in, and each of them keep having problems with the other kids at the school. And so the 4 of them end up being in a disciplinary house, quote unquote, where it's just 4 of them together. At first, they're all really dislike each other, and they have vastly different backgrounds, and there are societal prejudices on every side. Each of them has a different flair for magic. Their magic doesn't operate in quite the same way as the other mages. For example, if a weather mage lives within a certain set of rules, their magic would exist outside of those rules but still be related to the weather, so they can do things they aren't supposed to be able to do. Because of this, they are looked down upon and misunderstood by those around them. And it's a great story with found family, and they each have a wonderful mentor figure and are coming into their power and are coming of age. Again, we get to grow up with these characters, as there are 3 quartets, I believe, that are all about these characters, and we get to see them as they struggle in the beginning and then come into their power, and then they're at the peak of their power. And it's just such a great, wonderful story, watching them go from adolescence to teenagers to becoming independent and setting off on their own in the world. I love these characters, and I love these stories and the world that she has created. So now I need to go and do like a massive reread of all of my Tamora Pierce books. There are several other quartets that I have read that I had borrowed from the library, and there are a few quartets that she has written in the time that I really stopped reading everything that she was writing, around about when I hit college and now. And so I think that would be really fun to go revisit that and pick that up. And hopefully you enjoyed this video and you're going to go pick up some Tamora Pierce. Definitely worth your time. None of these books are super, super long. You can get through them really fast, and they're very uplifting. And I just recommend them for everyone. I think they're fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.